Problem 59, we're taking a look at some circles. If you remember when we started working with circles, we have our general formula as x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. The vertex is hk. Remember, those are the values that make this equal 0 and this equal 0. So it's like we're doing zero product for property for both of those. And then we need to take the square root of whatever number there is for our radius. So problem A is not set up in the right form, so I need to move this to the other side. So I'm going to have, when I add that to both sides, I'll have x minus 3 squared, because it was a negative, plus y minus 7 squared equals 25. Vertex will be at 3, 7. Not vertex, I'm sorry. The center will be at 3, 7. The radius will be 5. Problem B and C get a bit more difficult. So problem B, I have my x squared plus y squared plus 10y equals a negative 9. So a few things here with this. First of all, this is not written the same way as the last one where I have my y together as a perfect square, which means I need to complete the square with that. So completing the square. If you're not sure on that, I have videos on completing the square. This is with a coefficient of 1, so it'd be with a leading coefficient of 1 if you want to look at that video. But my x squared is taken care of. That's done. But for this one, if I have a y squared plus 10y, I'm going to be making a square with 5 y's on each side. There's my y squared. I would have 5 here. I would have 5 here, so it would be a y plus 5 and a y plus 5, which means I need to add 25 to complete that square. So when I write this as y plus 5 squared, there is a 25 inside of that square, which means I need to subtract 25 and equals negative 9. Moving this to the other side, I'm adding 25 to the other side, so I now have x squared plus y plus 5 squared equals 16. The center of this circle will now be 0, negative 5, and my radius is 4. I would suggest at this point to actually pause it and take a look at problem C and see if you can figure it out. Okay, hopefully you've done that, and I'm going to go through and solve it now. So I'm going to first of all write my x's next to each other, x squared plus 18x. And then I have plus my y squared minus 8y plus my 47 equals 0. So if I complete the square with this, I'm going to be making an x plus 9 square. If that's the size of the square, that means in order for that to complete the square, I need to add 81. So I need to subtract 81. That will now complete that square. With my y values, I have a y squared minus 8y, so I'll be making a y minus 4 square. In order to complete that square, I need to add 16, so now I will subtract 16. And plus 47 equals 0. I have a couple of things here that I need to combine like terms, and I will then once I combine like terms, I'll move them all to the other side. So I take negative 81 minus 16 plus 47. Those all together are a negative 50. So I'm going to move that to the other side, and I'm going to end up getting x plus 9 squared plus y minus 4 squared equals positive 50, because again, I moved that negative to the other side. That puts now my center at -9, +4. My radius is going to be the square root of 50. If you remember simplifying radicals, the square root of 50 is the same thing as the square root of 25 times the square root of 2, which simplifies down to 5 square roots of 2. The very last problem, D, is considerably easier than the one we just did. It's just written in a little different order. So it doesn't matter the order. The value of x right here is going to be 3. The value of y that makes it equal 0 is 0, so that's the center of the circle. And the square root of 1 is 1.